and welcome to the Stevenson High School Athletics Hall of Fame Induction, an annual event where we recognize a group of individuals who have shaped the tradition and future of Stevenson athletics. My name is Trish Bethauser. I'm the athletic director, and I'm honored to be your host for this year's ceremony. The people that you will hear from and about tonight are being recognized for their sacrifice, dedication, and commitment to Stevenson athletics, and as a result, have brought both pride and distinction to our school community as an athlete, coach, staff member, and supporter. Without further ado, let's meet the class of 2020 inductees. Our first inductee is a graduate from the class of 1993. Patrick Joyce was a standout member of both cross-country and track teams during his time at Stevenson. He earned a state championship in cross-country in 1991 and 92, and a 3,200-meter track championship in 93. He was named All-American in high school track and field and voted the #1 high school distance runner by USA Today. He went on to compete for NC State University, where he received multiple athletic and academic honors and made a profession of running as he competed for Adidas in national and international events. He is still an avid runner today, as he just finished a marathon in every continent, completing the one in Australia last year. Though I wasn't at Stevenson during Patrick's time of being an athlete, the stories of his accomplishments were still fresh on the coaches' minds when I did arrive in 1994, and they remain fresh on the coaches' minds today as they still share those stories with our current athletes. Let's hear from Patrick now.
I am extremely honored to be inducted into the Stevenson High School Athletic Hall of Fame. First, I would like to congratulate all the previous inductees and those being inducted with me this year. My time at Stevenson holds a special place in my heart and helped me become the person I am today. My success would not have been possible without my coaches, teammates, and the administration, and most importantly, my parents. They never missed a meet, and without their love, support, and guidance, my dreams would not have become possible. Thank you again, and I am so very honored.
Our next inductee is Ashley Wanlin from the class of 2007. As a student athlete, she made her mark in the girls' swimming record book in many ways. She was one of the first Stevenson swimmers to be a 4-time state qualifier and earned a state championship in 2004 and 2007 in the breaststroke. Wanlin went on to have a prolific career at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where she was 3-time All-American as a freshman. She still holds 3 Big Ten records and 4 school records. Fortunately, I've become familiar with Ashley as she has made a career in college athletics, first at Lake Forest College and now at Northwestern University. I consider her to be a close colleague and friend, and I'm anxious for the rest of you to hear from her now.
My name is Ashley Wanlin, and I just want to begin by thanking Trish Bethauser and the rest of the search committee for considering me for this honor. I don't know at what point I was more humbled, when I received the news or when I heard the names of the individuals who are a part of this class. And those individuals are John Martin, former athletic director during my time, who over the course of 20 years established a legacy for winning championships. Pat Ambrose, one of the most successful basketball coaches and well-respected teachers at Stevenson. Pat Joyce, an incredible athlete who over the course of his career shattered every single cross-country and track record. And Dr. Rick Dufour, a pioneer in education who laid the foundation for what excellence looks like in the classroom. Congratulations. It is truly an honor to join you all in this Hall of Fame class. When I think back to my high school career, this honor is really just the product of a group of people who invested so much of their time and energy into the sport. And that group of people begins with my coaches, Carl McGlory and Eugene Spivak, and the incredible group of teammates that I was surrounded by every single day. I was fortunate to have my primary coach, Carl, throughout my high school and club season. He helped me develop as an athlete, but more importantly, as a person. The administration at Stevenson continues to be second to none. Trish Bethauser has raised the bar in every way. The creation of this Hall of Fame and her leadership in the new multi-million athletic renovations are too many testaments to that. Chad Dauphin, former assistant athletic director, began as my teacher as an administrator, and since that time has become my mentor and a friend. And then lastly, I am just so thankful to have the most supportive and loving family. My parents deserve all the credit. They devoted so much of their time sacrificed so much, traveled all over the country, and were two people I went home to every day who just really believed. My brother and sister deserve a ton of credit as well, following in the footsteps of a brother who rarely got a B and a sister who was an All-American in 2 sports. It's not an easy task. I had to figure out real fast what I was going to contribute to our trio. So thank you for paving the way, and thank you for being an amazing brother and sister. Although my fiance and I, Max, cannot say that we were high school sweethearts, that we ran in the same circle back in the day, I know he would have been there every step of the way. With all that being said, I am forever grateful for the memories that I have while representing Stevenson, and I could not be more proud to say that I am a Patriot alumna. Thank you again, and go Pates.
Our next inductee is Stevenson High School boys basketball coach, Pat Ambrose. Pat arrived at Stevenson High School in 1999, and he is the winningest coach in Stevenson history. He has guided the Patriots to the IHSA state finals 4 times and won the Class 4A state championship in 2015. His career record is 451 and 170. And even more remarkable is the fact that his teams have never had a losing season. He played high school basketball at Naperville North, where he was inducted into their Hall of Fame in 2013, and he went on to play college basketball at Augustana before starting his teaching and coaching career in social studies at Proviso West. I worked especially close with Pat when I was the head girls basketball coach at Stevenson High School, and I recall watching his teams play on the defensive side of the ball. He's amazed me with the way that he's grown and adapted over the 20 years that he's coached here at Stevenson. His teams obviously still play great defense, and it's still working for them. Let's hear from Coach Ambrose now.
Hello, thank you for choosing me to be part of the Stevenson Athletic Hall of Fame in the class of 2020. I'd like to first of all congratulate the fellow inductees and all their accomplishments. When I was first informed that I'd be selected in this year's class, I was humbled, overwhelmed, and taken aback. This is quite a prestigious honor, and I do not take it lightly. The committee obviously did a tremendous job picking the first members of the Hall of Fame class last year, and when I watched them, I was in awe of their accomplishments. Over the years at Stevenson High School, I have received tremendous support from administration, teachers, parents, and others. But I'd like to point out some people specifically. My assistant coaches on the varsity level over the years have been tremendous. Coach Swan, Coach Wood, Coach Edstrom, Coach Pearl, Coach Taylor, Coach Wazlewski, Coach Clark, Coach Simon, Coach Mork, and Coach Hess. They've been by my side and are just as part of this moment as I am. My underlevel coaches, such as Coach Pearl, Coach Kimry, Coach Ney, Coach Gustin, Coach Reibel, and others, have also made the program quite great. Parents and administration obviously are a big part of the program at Stevenson High School, and they have supported me tremendously over the years. I'd also be remiss not to thank my mentors over the years, Coach Schneider of Proviso West, Coach Batka of Proviso West, Coach Wandro of Hoffman Estates, my college coaches, and of course, my high school coaches, Coach Whitaker and Coach Desron. I would not be here without them. As a coach also, I would not be sitting here without them, without great players on and off the court. Over 20 years, I've coached some of the best young men, and they have made my life easy and fun. I'd also like to end with a special thanks to my wife and family who've supported my career the entire way. Once again, thank you very much for inducting me in the 2020 Stevenson Athletic Hall of Fame, and go Patriots.
Our next inductee is John Martin. In 1990, John became the athletic director and director of physical welfare for Stevenson High School, a position he held for the next 20 years. And during that time, the athletic program grew to be the largest in the state of Illinois with over 2,000 athletes, 35 sports, and 110 levels. He was the athletic director for 15 team state championships and 43 individual state champions. He was crucial in the design, development, and supervision work on several facility projects, including the 55-acre complex now known as Vernon Hills Athletic Complex. He served on numerous state committees, and in 2016, John was inducted into the Illinois Athletic Directors Association Hall of Fame. I was fortunate enough to shadow John for my first year as an athletic administrator at Stevenson High School. And that year shaped how I approached my profession as the athletic director. He taught me to advocate for every student athlete and to have passion in everything I do. Let's listen in for a message from John now.
I would like to thank everyone at Stevenson, especially Trish Bethauser and the selection committee, for the honor of being inducted into the Stevenson Athletic Hall of Fame. My time at Stevenson was, without a doubt, the most rewarding part of my career. But honestly, not a single accomplishment would have been possible without the support of a dedicated, visionary Board of Education, superintendents, principals, and administrators who were all local and national leaders, assistant athletic directors, office staff, support staff, buildings and grounds personnel who labored tirelessly on behalf of the hundreds of coaches and thousands of athletes who were the real champions of Stevenson athletics. Moving away to a place where things are very different educationally and athletically brought clearly into focus just how special the vision, values, and achievements of Stevenson High School truly were and are. I could not have been more proud to host games and tournaments or to travel to away events or attend state and national meetings as a representative of the best high school with the finest staff, coaches, and athletes. I will always consider myself a patriot and still follow Stevenson teams on the internet and social media. I'm truly grateful for having been blessed for the opportunity to be a part of something so special, and I am truly honored to have been selected for this induction. Thank you.
Our final inductee this evening is Dr. Rick Dufour, Stevenson's principal from 1983 to 91 and superintendent from 91 to 2002. Dr. Dufour's career is well documented as he is notably one of the most recognized educators in the last 30 years, but his love of athletics is also well known by his colleagues. Not only did Stevenson win their first team championship in girls basketball in 1995, they went on to win many more during his time. He was instrumental in adopting boys ice hockey, fencing, and girls field hockey as recognized sports, despite the fact that they were not sanctioned by the IHSA. Frank Matucci, longtime girls basketball coach, shared that no other individual did more to promote Stevenson athletics than this leader and advocate of all sports. Personally, I have a fond memory of Dr. Dufour as he welcomed our new teacher class in 1994 by singing a Johnny Cash version of the song Because You Care. He always went the extra mile for students and teachers. And unfortunately and sadly, cancer took his life several years ago. So on behalf of Dr. Dufour, we now hear from his son, Matt.
Hello, I'm Matthew Dufour, son of Dr. Rick Dufour. Stevenson was a really special place to my dad, and so the fact that he's getting honored with this induction into the Stevenson Athletics Hall of Fame, it's a really special thing for myself and for our entire family. Stevenson was a kind of a second home for me, and I spent a lot of my young years, sort of from third grade on, attending football games and basketball games. And as I was a student at Stevenson, I was lucky enough to attend when both Taja and Tamika Catchings were part of the school. And so I had a great time, celebrating the back-to-back victories with the women's basketball team. But there was really nobody at that school who was more of a fan of Stevenson athletics than my dad. So I really like to show my appreciation for the committee for selecting him. And I know he would really have been honored to accept this award. Thank you.
On behalf of the Hall of Fame Selection Committee and the Stevenson community, I want to once again thank the inductees for their amazing contributions in creating, developing, and fostering the programs that we are so fortunate to enjoy today. Without their passion for competition or their vision for providing opportunities, we would not be known as the Patriot Nation that we are. One more shout out for the class of 2020 inductees. Thank you and have a good night.